Hey book buddies, Katie here, and today I'm reviewing Geekerella by Ashley Poston. Geekerella is a contemporary retelling of Cinderella, and it follows our protagonist Elle, and she is a very prominent member of this fandom for a show called Starfield, which is kind of similar to Star Trek, Star Wars, and she writes blog posts about it. Her father, who has passed away, was also a really prominent member of this fandom, and he created a Comic-Con for it. And of course, Elle has an evil stepmother and two evil stepsisters who make her life terrible for her, and she wants nothing more than to take the neighbor's dog that's mistreated and run away to Los Angeles and never turn back. So then one day there is a cosplay contest at this convention that her father created. And the winner of the cosplay contest gets a bunch of money, and they get tickets to see the premiere of the movie that they're doing, which is a reboot of the television show. Now, Elle isn't really super interested in getting tickets to see the premiere of the reboot because she doesn't like the actor that they've cast as the main character, Prince Carmendor. He was an actor in a lot of soap opera, kind of reality TV type things, and she doesn't think he's, a real fan, so she writes all these blog posts about how she thinks he's going to do a horrible job. What Elle is really interested in is the money so that she can hightail it out of there and go to LA. Meanwhile, our other protagonist is named Darian, as shown on the back cover here. And he is the actor that they've cast to play Prince Carmendor. And so he's the one who was in the soap operas and stuff. But he actually is a really huge fan of Starfield, just like Elle is. He just has to play it cool and pretend like he's not, because his father is his manager, and his dad is really all business, and he doesn't really provide fatherly support to Darian, and so he's more concerned with Darian just being the perfect TV star. Darian is actually really excited to play Carmendor, but he's worried because a lot of people think that he isn't suited for the role, and a lot of people think that he's not a real fan, so he's actually read some of Elle's blog posts, and they really hurt his feelings. And then his dad signs him up to go to this Comic-Con, ExcelsiCon, which is the one that Elle's dad formed, to do a panel and some signings for the reboot. Something has happened in Darian's past involving a friend selling him out to paparazzi, but you're not exactly sure what the details of that are. You just know that he used to go to a lot of Comic-Cons with this friend, and so now he doesn't do Comic-Cons. He doesn't go. And so he's really afraid of going to this Comic-Con because he's afraid all these super fans are going to attack him because he's not a real fan, and he's afraid that he's going to have all these memories of his friend betraying him, and so he just really doesn't want to go to this Comic-Con. So he gets online and he finds the number of the old director for the Comic-Con, and he texts them asking if he can cancel. And the number that he texts is actually Elle's number, because she has what used to be her father's phone. And she doesn't know who it is that's texting her. It just says, I need to cancel Prince Carmendor for this Comic-Con, and so she just assumes he's a cosplayer. So she doesn't know that he's Darian Freeman. And then they just start texting back and forth, kind of like in the Hilary Duff Cinderella movie. And all the while, Elle is trying to make her cosplay for this convention. So the thing that I love most about this book is the shout out to fandom culture, because I am a fangirl, like a serious fangirl, and so it was really cool to see characters who were that way as well. And so she goes to this Comic-Con and everything, and it makes references to shows and TV and books that we have here. So it would reference Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and Firefly and all of the good stuff, all the stuff that I watched. They'd be talking about Daleks or whatever, and it just was so cool. I feel like I would be best friends with these characters. I feel like I would be best friends with this author. When you read a book and you're like, this author and we would get along. That's how I feel about Ashley Poston. I feel like if I met her, we would just be the best of friends. So I really loved the fandom influences in this book. The other thing that I really loved is just the characters. So I really loved Elle. I thought she was great. She seemed really relatable and really real. I really liked Darian a lot. I didn't think I was gonna like Darian, but I really did. He was a cinnamon roll, and she keeps saying that he smells like cinnamon, so I'm like, it's because he's a cinnamon roll. And then the fairy godmother, her name is Sage, and she works with Elle in this food truck that sells vegan food called the Magic Pumpkin. So it's the Magic Pumpkin. And Sage is really, really cool as well. And she has green hair and piercings, and she's just awesome. And so I loved all the characters. Also, her neighbor's dog is a little dachshund named Franco, and it made me think of my dogs because I have two dachshunds. Well, one's a dachshund, one's a dachshund mix. But so the whole time, every time she was talking about Franco, I was like, oh! One thing that did kind of give me a little bit of anxiety when I was reading it, though, is the fact that they were texting each other and didn't know each other. So I remember when I was little, I watched the Hilary Duff Cinderella movie, and I didn't think that was a big deal at all. But now that I'm older and wiser, I'm like, you don't know who that is. That could be like an old perverted serial killer. You don't know. You don't know them. And so they'd be like, oh, I'm in love with this person I don't know. You're not in love. You don't know them. And so the whole time, every time they would text each other, especially when they started getting flirty over text message, I'm like, oh, be careful, my children. I am giving this book 5 stars because it was so cute. Guys, it was so cute. I know that this book has been around BookTube a lot, and the reviews that I've seen have been pretty mixed, honestly. So some people are like, 5 stars, best book I've ever read. I will read it again 1,000 times. And some people are like, yeah, that was a big pile of cliche and it gets 1 star. And so it kind of depends on you as an individual. This seems like a really polarizing book. I really, really, really liked it. And that's not to say that it isn't cliche, because it is. It's very, very cliche, and all the tropes happen, and it's a Cinderella retelling, so you know exactly where it's gonna go. There's not, like, any major plot twists that just throw you for a loop. You kind of know what you're getting into. But I don't feel like that's a bad thing in this book at all, because this book is supposed to be a kind of fluffy book. It's a quick read, and it's just something that made me really happy. So like I said, 5 stars. If you are looking for something cheesy fluffy and you really like fandoms, pick this book up. Just do it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please feel free to click the like button or subscribe to my channel. I will see you all again very, very soon with a new video, but until then, happy reading!